Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podcast Period, the internet's stupidest podcast. My name is Ben, and with me today, as always, is my co-host David.
What's up, guys?
So, this is our first, we'll call it normal episode of Season 2, kind of a return to form. We've got a couple of stories that we're going to talk about today, and then we're going to read a Reddit post that we found that we both thought was kind of funny. And then we got some trailers for you guys that we're going to react to and do our usual rating bit that I'll try not to over-explain as I usually do. Anyways, without further ado, the first story that we're talking about, something that's been all over my freaking TikTok For You page for like the last 2 weeks or whatever, maybe even longer, is I think it's pronounced David, is how you pronounce this guy's name. He's like a recording artist. I can't quite classify his genre per se, but I think you've heard one of his songs before, because it's in like a bunch of, it's one of those like sped up TikTok songs that you hear all the time. I don't care how long it takes, as long as I'm with you, I've got a smile on my face. Have you heard that one?
Probably.
Okay. He's got a bunch of other songs like that. And the big story with him is that probably a couple weeks ago, well, let me bring up my doc because it has the exact date. September 8th, there was a body found in the front trunk of this guy's Tesla, a Tesla that was registered to him. The body of a 15-year-old missing girl, missing since, I think, 2024, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The LAPD said that she was likely dead for several weeks before she was discovered in the trunk of this car. The cause and manner of the death have not been released, and is yet undetermined. Shortly after that, on September 17th, the LAPD searched a rental home where the singer had been staying and seized several items and evidence, including possibly blood evidence. Shortly after the search, he moved out of said property. Hernandez had reportedly run away from home multiple times in 2024. Her last known movements remain unclear. There's been a lot of speculation about a relationship between the two. David being, I think, like 22 or 23, maybe 21. He's not a teenager.
Well, outside Romeo and Juliet laws in this case.
Yeah,
Not that that's an excuse in any form of the matter,
no.
But I understand a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old. Romeo and Juliet laws have a case, not when you're 24.
Yeah. Let me see how old he is. D4VD age. He is... Yes. Oh, okay. He's 20.
Oh, well...
But still...
15! Not okay. Not okay.
No, it's not.
17... 15? No.
Now, I have heard speculation, this is all alleged, because none of this has been proved, that they met when Celeste was 11, which would have put him at 16, which again, no.
Friends? Maybe? That's kind of pushing it.
At that point, they would have been friends, but allegedly, they had an ongoing romance, and the speculation
of course.
And the speculation is that he may have killed her because she got pregnant.
Probably. Probably.
Yeah. So there's good reason for people to speculate this. One, they've been like seen on his like Twitch stream before together. They've been seen at his shows. Like she's been at his shows before. They have matching tattoos on their index finger that say shh. And there's some songs that he's come out with that are extremely questionable, including one called Romantic Homicide. I'm going to look up the lyrics for you. Romantic Homicide lyrics. Here we go.
I'm just counting the number of red flags that are just popping in my head. We've got a platoon of red flags. Capture the flag with the Spartans from Halo.
Yeah.
Would not be possible with the amount of flags that we got going right now.
Yeah. So there's several references here. I'll just read a couple of the verses. In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear, and I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive. And then a little later in the song, in the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you. Plus, there is an unreleased song that has recently seen the light of day that's literally titled Celeste. Let's see if I can find the lyrics for that. There's a bridge that specifically references Celeste. It says, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. Oh Celeste." Listen, all of this is alleged because I'm poor. I don't want to get sued. But if it somehow turns out that any of this is not true, I will eat my own shorts. Because to me, the evidence seems pretty overwhelming.
I was going to say, somehow, some way, I think, just an opinion, allegedly this happened. If I was a betting man, I would bet your shorts would remain intact, and you wouldn't have to worry about eating cotton or whatever the heck. I think you're safe.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
allegedly. And I mean, I'm not in a suing position or suable position either. So.
Right. Exactly. I think this is an ongoing story. So if there's any updates later on down the road, I think we're probably going to cover it. But I just wanted to put this out there because this story is just so absolutely insane. And the fact that he hasn't been charged yet is kind of crazy. Considering this happened at the beginning of last month as we're recording this.
This sounds like the plot to like a late 80s, early 90s like Forensic Files show. Like honestly,
right?
It sounds like a script from a TV show.
I don't understand. I mean, the girl was found in this man's car. Plus all of the overwhelming evidence that they more than likely had a relationship. I mean, motive we could still speculate on. I have my opinion, which I already shared, but like, I mean, what other reason would you have to kill somebody that you're in a relationship with?
Well, besides being psychotic
Right.
or
Yes.
otherwise mentally
Any
delusioned in some way.
sane like I'm not saying that I am crazy enough to do this, but putting myself in the mindset of somebody that's possibly like actually psychotic, the reason that I put forth makes sense to me.
It's a fairly good assumption. If there is something that can't be changed, if there's some sort of result of the relationship that's going to permanently change the way things are in the future, a kid would be one of them. There's only a few things that would come up in that type of life-changing scenario bucket that we've got going here, the alleged bucket of possible motives. That would be pretty high on the list. The only other thing would be something along the lines, and I'm speculating again, allegedly, we don't know that any of this happened. Possibly that she was going to report some sort of sexual misconduct or something.
That is possible, considering the age difference.
The relationship in some sort of way. Like, I'm not trying to make light of this, guys, at all. There's only two possible ways to look at this right now, in my mind. Laugh at it so I don't get sick, or I visibly get sick, and we don't want that. So I'm kind of having to look at it on the other side, because I'm cringing so hard right now. I've about gotten sick a couple of times. This is just too much. So hopefully he didn't do it. But
hopefully,
if I had to make a bet and eat my shorts, if I lost on that bet, I think I'd be chowing down on some delicious shorts. I might have to wash them a couple of times before I do that. Think you're safe. I think I'd be screwed. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, it could go either way. I feel like that's a pretty compelling reason as well.
Or all this evidence is circumstantial at best. We can't tie either a strong enough motive or some actual physical evidence that can't be refuted in any sort of way. We end up with like a Casey and Anthony or an OJ type thing where, yeah, we know what the verdict should have been, and there was justice that was not served in the minds of like 80 to 90% of the population.
OJ,
just saying.
Casey, Anthony, this could be in the same boat.
It could be. So, I wouldn't put that past anyone either.
I don't know. Until we get the full picture of the evidence, obviously the only thing that we can say is that all of this is alleged. I think the fact that she was in the trunk of his car kind of is the biggest evidence that we have right now, but we're not behind the scenes, so who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Okay. Let's move on to our next news story. What you got?
All right. So this could go a million different ways, but I'm betting there's a solid sentiment in the community that this is not as positive as it could have been. EA. Lovely EA. We've had our fair share of
EA Sports. It's in the game.
And we've had our fair share of complaints, and I mean, we've also had some, we like a lot of their stuff. They're going private, getting sold for $55 billion. Apparently, they have agreed to be. That's a big B. That's a very big B. $55 billion leveraged buyout from a consortium of investors, including some Saudi Arabia public funds, the Public Interest Fund, investment fund, I should say, and a private equity firm, Silver Lake, and partners with Affinity Partners. Let's say he's connected to the White House, former presidential advisor. or senior aide, or I forget his exact title, but I think it was presidential advisor.
Mm-hmm.
One Mr. Jared Kushner.
Former advisor, current son-in-law.
Yes. Married to their daughter. The other, Ivanka. Instead of Melania. The other Trump woman that with close ties to the White House. Which, that's an interesting set of investors, and might be why some people might not like where this could be headed. If it can clear regulatory approval and everything else, which, considering the FCC and Department of Justice hasn't really done anything antitrust in the last 25, 30 years since we broke up Microsoft, I'm betting it's a pretty good bet that will clear. Any regulatory hurdles should be closed out by Q1 of 2027. EA's public stock will be dislisted once the deal is complete, and it'll be officially a non-publicly traded company. The CEO, Andrew Wilson, is expected to remain in his leadership role under the new ownership, and it's being called the largest all-cash private take transaction to date, and one of the biggest leveraged buyouts in history.
I have a feeling that this can only mean bad things for the future of EA, but I mean, who knows? I honestly, I don't feel like this is a good idea, quite honestly.
At some given point, a private company doing what they want to do without the benevolent shareholders and board meetings and board of directors and all the other people that you have to answer to say, yes, daddy, I'll make you more money. It can be a good thing. Valve, privately held, does some pretty good things. I don't think this is going to be the case.
Valve also has a very good history of doing good things. They also have a history of making money hand over fist.
And they have no problem doing so, making money hand over fist. But they're also not held by, or at least majorly held, potentially.
I don't think they're privately held by like any investment company. I could be wrong.
Exactly. So, I mean, they might be, but it's not the same people. So, I feel like there's still going to be some yes, daddy, I'll make you some more money talk. It just won't be a board of directors in the U.S. anymore, or wherever they were board.
So,
not on the U.S. stock market. I'm assuming they were U.S. and members,
well, they would have to be, anywhere. So it looks like, I mean, there might be some smaller investment companies in there somewhere, but it looks like Gabe Newell holds the majority of the shares in Valve. There are some other co-founders and early employees that hold shares as well, but it's mostly Gabe Newell, over 50%. Not an exact percentage is given as far as I can tell, but it's over 50%. So
yeah, it could be a good thing. It really could. Maybe we could kill some of these god awful micro transactions. Maybe not. The
only thing I feel like
games.
The only thing I feel like private investment firms are good at is sucking a company dry
for all that it's worth before moving on to the next one.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what almost happened to Red Lobster before they corrected course. They were, I think they declare bankruptcy.
I'm pretty sure Red Lobster declared bankruptcy. Yes.
Yeah. They've turned it around with this new CEO.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Those cheese biscuits cost a ton of money, Ben.
I don't know. The cheese biscuits, but they're unlimited. They're unlimited freaking seafood deal, or it was like some unlimited shrimp thing that they had going on.
Yeah,
that was severely underpriced.
Hey, don't be going after my shrimp. Walmart did us a favor. We all got some.
Like the radioactive shrimp.
Yeah, we got some radioactive shrimp. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
if you wanted another reason why shellfish is not your best thing, they gave you a good one, so you could avoid it with a clean conscience. Hey, I didn't get shrimp from Chernobyl this time, so
And good news is I don't like anything seafood, so I never had to worry about it. Okay, let's move on to the Reddit story that we picked out. This comes from Best of Redditor Updates. This is quite a long post with looks like 6 individual updates after the original post. It was originally posted in relationship advice. It is called "My husband cannot accept that I don't like mustard. Things came to a head yesterday." The original post was posted November 2nd, 2022. So this is a little bit under 3 years old now. So we've been married 2 years, dating 5. We're both 34. I'm a woman. He's a man. If it matters, I'm not picky. I'm not a picky eater. In fact, I'm quite adventurous, and every time I've traveled, I've always made it a point to try dishes with unusual/uncommon ingredients to say I've tried them. There are very few foods I won't eat. One of them is mustard, the condiment. I don't like it. I just don't. The taste is very strong and overpowering, and it's an unpleasant taste. You know what? Honestly, I could feel that. I like mustard on like hot dogs and stuff, but I could see where somebody would have a problem with it.
Yellow mustard in its pure form. I don't even really like it on hot dogs. It can't be the only condiment. I'll mix it with like ketchup or relish or something like that. But I mix it into things, and it's fine. I mean, I get where they're coming from, but
yeah,
it's fine.
I've tried yellow, stone ground, honey, artesian, brown, spicy, you name it. I've tried them all, and I just don't like them. My husband, for some reason, never understood this. He loves mustard, especially honey mustard. He puts it on all his sandwiches, dips his fries in it. And every time he tries to force me to try it, he'll insist I'll like it this time. I'm a grown-ass woman. I know what I don't like, and I don't like mustard, so I'll say no, and it'll devolve into a mini argument where he'll call me picky. Well, last night we were on the road home from a weekend trip we took together, and he stopped at a gas station to get us a quick bite. He got a hot dog slathered in mustard. I got one, but decided to keep it plain. I don't really love hot dogs to begin with, but I will eat them. While we waited in line, he asked what I got on mine. I told him nothing. He actually got furious and grabbed it from me. He marched over to the condiment station and began putting mustard on my hot dog, telling me to grow up and stop being picky. I just walked out and sat in the car. I didn't even want the damn hot dog anymore. My appetite was gone. He came back and began screaming at me for embarrassing him even further. The word divorce was said for the first time ever. I secretly recorded his screaming because I was genuinely afraid I would die. He was driving erratically, swerving and speeding. I'm in a hotel tonight. He ignored me all day at work, and then the call started around when he realized I wasn't coming home. Non-stop voicemails and texts. He sent me a screenshot of a Google search for local divorce lawyers. I've been eating all day, and I've been sobbing in this damn hotel room. I don't want to get divorced, and I wish I just had ate the freaking mustard. Someone, anyone, please give me an explanation. Am I in danger? Why would he react this way to a preference of mine? I'm completely broken right now.
So,
What?
if this boiled out of an argument or a spat, we shouldn't be having spats and arguments over condiments no matter what. But if this boiled out of a spat over a freaking condiment, there are some deep underlying issues.
This feels like an issue of control on this guy's part. Like
something.
There's no reason that you should get so upset over your partner not wanting, of all things, mustard. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense to me. None whatsoever. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
You want to read the next update?
All right. So, original post was November 2nd, 2022. This was the same day as the original post. So apparently she must have responded to some of the questions, and it goes as follows. Some answers, I guess, to questions I saw. Regarding when I said no to sex, he responded if I said no to having sex, but he would ask for blowjobs over and over. I used to give in at first until I started dreading doing it. He tried buying me all the stuff to make me like it, tried to make it easier or whatever. I used to like blowjobs. I don't like giving them to him, but he'll still ask over and over. I started responding with, I said no. Are you going to force me to do it? And he'd get squeamish and offended that I would imply he would rape or insult me. So something's going on here, guys. If I have a support system, no. I've always been a very small circle kind of person and lost touch with casual college friends. My friends are his. It makes me feel like a loser, but I don't really have friends of my own. My parents are dead. My dad died when I was a teen, and my mom passed recently of heart failure. I have no siblings. I'm financially capable of living on my own and could pay for divorce. I just really don't want things to be this way. The mustard thing was always just an annoyance to me. I didn't consider it a deal breaker, but obviously it is for him. We have no kids and no equity. Our finances are separate. Say for just one joint account, we equally contribute to our bills and we're looking at buying a house. I'm safe, I'm at work, and I'm staying in a hotel until further notice. He has continued to text. One message said that he loves me and doesn't want to lose me, but I forced his hand by refusing to communicate or come home. I haven't answered. I don't know what to say. I forced myself to eat my favorite takeout last night, but it tasted like cardboard. I'm staying up late compiling a list of every time he has shown worrying behavior. I guess the mustard is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely the tip of the iceberg. Jeez.
I'll say.
That's a lot of context that was kind of missing from that original post. I mean, I can understand why she didn't include it, but it definitely gives more insight to the personality of this guy. Like I said, I definitely feel like this all boils down to a control thing, like with the blowjobs and everything. I mean, at least I'll give him this. At least he acted kind of squeamish when she asked if he was gonna force her to do it, but it shouldn't have gotten that far anyway.
Is that him acting squeamish because of the thought of her asking if he would do that? Like he's not capable of doing that? Or is that him acting squeamish because he's getting caught and his true side is being revealed?
That is a good point.
So, we need to dig a little further into that one.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the second update. It's again the same day as the original post. Sincerely, thank you all for your kind words as well as sending me links to resources. He has reverted back and has told me that he never wants to see me again, so I suppose that gives me time to read that book that someone on relationship advice suggested to me. I forget the name. I will admit, while I was at work and thinking of the lonely room waiting me after 5, I considered just going home, but I knew what awaited me. I'm too drained to muster up the kind of apology he would be expecting in order for things to go back to normal. I honestly fear that our normal is detrimental to me, and I also don't want to apologize. I don't think I did anything wrong, and you all helped validate that. I always felt like I was the one disturbing the peace. He'd get so upset over things that were little to no effort for me to just do or go along with because I loved him. And somewhere along the way, I think I lost myself. I never liked mustard. I never liked golf or camping or red wine, but he loves all of these things, and he wanted me to love them too. He said he was introducing me to his hobbies so we would have shared interests as a couple, but I have realized that all the things I used to like, he's either refused to try or ignored my interests. Our shared interests are just his. God, how do I feel like my own person again? My world broke not 2 days ago, and now I'm drunk at a hotel bar, switching between Reddit and researching divorce lawyers. I don't want to divorce. It's so permanent. I'd never pictured myself a divorcee. I used to think that every choice I made deliberately. It used to be a point of pride for me. But he's making this choice for me, and it hurts. Yeah, I don't know. No notes on that one.
That seemed pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if they got divorced. Like, honestly, it kind of seems that's the way this is going. And I feel like with everything that she's listed out, it should be the way things go. Like,
I think so.
I can understand wanting to have shared interests as a couple. Like, obviously, there's things that I want my wife to do with me. TV shows that I'd like her to watch, whatever. But I feel like I've always been willing to try things that she liked as well. And this guy does not seem like he wants to do that. He seems very narcissistic, very controlling, and I don't know, he doesn't seem like a good guy to me at all.
That was going to be the one thing that I was going to bring up, but then she clarified it in the post was there's nothing wrong with the shared interest thing. As long as he is participating in what she likes too. And clearly, as she explained, the answer to that is no, and that's where the narcissist thing comes in. I think you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
All right. So the third update, we finally get some time for reflection. This is 5 days after the original post, so November 7th, 2022. First of all, I took this week off at the encouragement of my employer. I plan to spend it finding a therapist that specializes in domestic abuse and sexual assault, which I've come to realize I am a victim of. I feel completely numb. I'm also looking into a divorce lawyer. Secondly, he found the hotel where I was staying. I guess he followed me home from work. He was waiting in the lobby. God, my heart skipped a beat and I realized that I did not miss him at all. I was afraid of making a scene. I need to unlearn that. So I sat with him in the lounge area and talked. I'll summarize it. I pointed out the security cameras and said if he tried to hurt me, there'd be footage and I would press charges without a second thought. He was completely shocked and said he'd never hurt me. I reminded him how I feared for my life in the car. He ignored me. He asked why I wasn't coming home. I was completely blank-faced when I told him, because you're divorcing me. He said he didn't mean it, and it was just upset. I said, when normal people are upset, they express it in a healthy way. You threatened the end of our marriage. I'm taking you seriously. He got pissed and asked if I was saying he wasn't normal. Honestly, I just wanted the conversation to be done, so I told him that really all he heard, if that's really all he heard, then there was no point in talking anymore. She's right. There's really no point in talking any further after that. I told him I was looking for a lawyer and he should probably do the same if he hasn't found one. He lashed out and said, all of this over one mistake. Okay. And I just stared at him. As I made to stand up, he grabbed my wrist and I pointed to the camera again. This just made him angrier. He never could handle slights to his ego. One mistake. It wasn't one mistake. It was a pattern of abuse over years. It was threatening me, intimidating me. If I told him if he tried to contact me again beyond sending me his lawyer's details, I'd be calling the police. He let me go. I want to say I was a badass and celebrated in my room. I collapsed onto my bed and began sobbing. I was just so sick and angry and sad. He truly doesn't care about me. I've been crying off and on while calling a local therapist. God, why is it so hard to find one? The amount of therapists that advertise, but then turn out to be not accepting new patients is unacceptable. I've looked into victims of domestic violence / domestic assault support groups as well. In the span of less than a month, my life has completely changed, and he wasn't remorseful at all. He just thinks it's all my fault.
Less than a month, less than a week, lady.
Yeah,
that's
I'll say.
Crazy. Oof. Wow. Yeah, I'm glad she was able to stand her ground when he came into the hotel. I'm glad that she didn't just fold. Although honestly, looking at the rest of her posts, I would be surprised if she folded at that point, because she was like, she finally recognized the pattern that he had been putting her through over and over and over again throughout their relationship. And she was done with it. I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to go through that either.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying this. I'm not defending him. We are looking at it through one lens. It sounds credible. We don't have the full details. Maybe she was spiraling and picking up things that people were saying in the comments and leaking things unnecessarily, and that there isn't some causality to the actions that he took. I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. It sounds completely narcissistic no matter what. I just don't know about, well, yes I do, because she did mention the forced oral sexual assault. So domestic violence is about the only one that doesn't seem to have any credible evidence yet, but I sincerely doubt that there isn't credible evidence. We just don't have it yet.
Yeah. Okay, fourth update. This is 24 days after the original post. I have a divorce lawyer. That's all I feel comfortable with revealing on here for the time being. I will also mention that I have moved locations. I am safe and secure. My work has allowed me to go fully remote. My soon-to-be ex does not have my location, nor are there any trackers on my phone. I am in contact with people and organizations who are helping me. Earlier this week, the calls and texts really ramped up. I was advised to leave him unblocked and simply muted so his messages would come through. I've read a few since I was curious. He wanted me at Thanksgiving dinner with his family. He begged me to stop being this way. And what was he supposed to tell his family? Well, Thursday came and went. I had bought a couple of ready meals the night before, so that was my feast. I do want to take a break here to talk about my mom, since it was only the three of us every holiday, except the rare times friends would come over. My mom wouldn't make a turkey. She would buy a rotisserie chicken and dress it up with the stuffing. She'd make dishes we'd love rather than traditional Thanksgiving dishes. My favorite side dish of all time was French fries. My dad loved grilled asparagus with cheese, so she would have a rotisserie chicken with French fries, asparagus, and some garlic toast, my mom's favorite. The first time I had a real traditional Thanksgiving food was at a friend's house. I apparently told my mom loudly that I didn't like it and asked where the French fries were. So this year, instead of my soon-to-be ex-husband's family Thanksgiving food, I bought asparagus, fries, garlic toast, and a couple of slices of rotisserie chicken. It wasn't half as good as my mother's meal, but when I say I cried eating it, it felt like they were with me that night. I guess my absence at the dinner forced my soon-to-be ex to tell his family that I was separated from him, so Friday morning I got a phone call from an unfamiliar number. I answered it thinking maybe it was my lawyer's home phone or another person I was in contact with. It was my mother-in-law. She begged me not to hang up on her, so I stayed on the line. She went on about how I was her daughter, she loved me, her son loved me, and how could I leave him over something so minor. He only told his mom about the mustard, and even then it was a watered-down version that made him look like a neurotic control freak. That made me look like a neurotic control freak who needed everything my way. According to my mother-in-law, he just made a side cup of it for me. And asked me to just try it in the car, and I started screaming I'd divorce him. She then started probing about which lawyer I was seeing and what I had told them. She also reminded me that lying in court was a crime. The lawyer had warned me not to reveal anything we had discussed to his family. It took all my willpower not to say anything. Instead, I hung up and muted her number too. She hasn't texted or tried to call again. Trust me, I would love to send the recording of her son screaming, saying that he ought to smack me upside the head, calling me a stubborn bitch, that he would divorce me, and that he would run the car off the freaking road if I didn't start acting right. I wanted to scream into the phone and tell her that her precious son started this mess and I was simply doing what he wanted. I have come to realize that you don't treat somebody you love the way he has acted. Normal people don't want to have sex with somebody who has already said no. Normal people don't keep pushing and obsessing over food preferences. There is something seriously wrong with that man. He texted me last night, Friday, calling me a bitch for making his mother cry. He also said that he would come find me and it would take more than a locked door to keep him from, to keep him from getting me and taking me home. I forwarded those to the right people. I know this isn't a happy update, but things are moving along quite nicely.
Okay, so forget what I said about not having evidence of domestic assault, because we do. Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's his mother. Yes, I would say that. Now, she should know some of these warning signs. So either she's living in denial too, or he's a master of manipulation and doesn't show his true self outside of family. He just does it in his in marriage, where it should be quote unquote safe.
Right.
Not an excuse. Not an excuse. Just saying. I think he's manipulating. I'd reach out too, though. If I was an in-law and my kids were getting a divorce and it sounded like a petty thing over a frickin' condiment, I would also question, are you sure that's really what it is? Like, is she that delusional?
I don't
like, come on.
blame her for reaching out over the story that he told her at all. But
she can't believe that, can she?
I mean, you want to believe the best of your own kids, and realistically, she doesn't have any other information other than what he's given her.
No, so I mean, I get it, and like I said, he very well could be the master manipulator, and has hidden these tendencies. If it goes back a while, there should be signs, but again, some people just believe in their kids, and it's hard to pick up on things, or they just don't want to see the truth because it hurts too much, or they can't see past the love or something. I don't know. I mean, by her own admission, the soon-to-be ex-wife's admission, it took years or however long to figure out that she was a domestic assault and violence victim. So, I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
sounds like she's doing the right thing, though.
When you're in it is hard to see it, and I'm sure that he played his cards close to the chest when he was around his mother and the rest of his family. So I'm not really surprised that she believes his story at all.
Also, very good that the person is, if this is all that she ever posted. Very good at keeping the evidence off the internet or anything else because of discovery and everything that can happen, because there will be obviously lawyers involved with it, and a trial and whatnot would probably follow up if there is domestic assault and violence charges that can be placed. So, good not to let anything else out, because we kind of already know enough, too much as it is. Like, got to keep the details to a minimum. Honestly, probably shouldn't post anything, but it seems minimal enough.
Okay.
Not legal advice. I'm not a legal lawyer.
Second to last update. Let's hear it.
Alrighty. Okay, so this is the 5th update, and it was almost 9 months after the original post. which that timing is not correct because the original post was November of 22 and this says February of 23. So not sure if the date is wrong or somebody's math is wrong, but whatever. I digress. I moved. I will not say where, but I have found a new home. My job has let me stay permanently remote. I cannot go into details about my divorce or other current legal proceedings, but I can say I was granted a protective order due to something that happened back in December. Due to the nature of what happened, I was hospitalized for a time.
What?
That was what I guess made me realize I wanted to get the F out. I traded my car, had my phone checked for tracking apps/devices, and changed my number. You cannot contact me or anyone, or have anyone contact me on his behalf. I am now several hours and state lines away from him and his wretched family. That can't be good. I moved with only 2 suitcases and a duffel of my stuff. I cannot wait to furnish and decorate my new home the way I've always wanted it. I'm in therapy and have a survivor group, support group, I should say. I see weekly. I will be okay. I feel like I can finally breathe. Edit. You are all very kind. I've had a lot of people ask what happened that landed me in the hospital. And while I understand my story is entertaining, it was quite traumatic to endure. Respectfully, I won't share that until I'm ready. I appreciate all of my support. All of the support, and I'm both touched and heartbroken by those of you who have shared similar stories in the comments and DMs. I'm simultaneously horrified that others have gone through this, and relieved that I'm not the only one.
Wow. Okay. I gotta say, I was not really expecting part of that.
The wretched family part is what concerns me.
Yeah,
a lot.
I feel like the family knows more about what went down now, and they're still choosing to side with him and protect him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back
plus the hospitalization thing, which we have to assume was some sort of attack by him to her or something of that nature. I mean, maybe not, because it doesn't say anything about like him getting arrested and jailed or whatever, but I don't know.
It's either him or it's somebody in the family, and that's why we have the wretched family. But I would be a betting man and say that it was him, and that the wretched family goes back to, like I said, the mother-in-law. If there have been signs, she's either willingly ignored, is blind as a bat, or is defending. The worst of the three, defending and still allows it to happen.
Yeah.
Or other people, sisters, brothers, I don't know, somebody else. Somebody's done something.
Honestly, who even knows at this point? Okay, final update. This is close to a year after the original post, November 14th of 2023. Hello, it's been a while. I'd sort of forgotten about this account until I saw screenshots of my post uploaded to Instagram. Some key points: I'm still going to therapy, individual counseling, and bi-weekly group meetings for victims of domestic violence. I am absolutely not dating. I saw some comments that said they hoped I found a fairy tale man. That's the last thing I want or need. I strive for independence and self-love before I consider finding a new partner. It'll probably be years before I'm ready, and that's okay. I have discovered a love of cooking and trying new cuisines. I didn't realize how boring my ex's taste was until I escaped him. Slathering mustard on a $2 hot dog does not mean you have superior taste buds. Sorry, I had to get in the jab somehow. Nothing new or dramatic has happened, and I like that. And that is the way I like it. What matters is I'm alive and I'm happy. I didn't realize how little I'd made myself until I was given the space to be. That's all I'm willing to give for my update for now. Peace and love. Yeah, wow. Not a gigantic update, but I'm glad that she's still doing well in the context of all of this. All right. Now we have the final segment of our show, our trailer
Something light and
reactions.
happy, I hope.
What?
Something light and happy, I hope.
Maybe. We'll see. So I picked out 4 trailers for us to react to today. If you have not heard our show before, what we do is we watch the trailers and then we say whether we would not watch the movie, we would see it in the theaters, wait for a rental, and I think just straight up buy it. Was that the rating system that we did? It's been so long.
Watch it, would not watch it, or wait for a rental.
I think see it in theaters was part of it too.
See it in theaters, wait for a rental, not gonna bother. That's how it went.
First trailer that we've got is for Zootopia 2.
At the ZPD, partnership is the cornerstone of success. No, carrots,
Put that far away, November 26th. I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed with that trailer. I like the original Zootopia. You've seen it?
Yeah, actually, one of the, I'm gonna say it's one of my higher rated last 15 years of Disney. Like, it's good.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
it's actually good.
It is very good. This looks promising. I mean, obviously we'll have to wait to see like where it actually lands, but I kind of hyped for this. I don't know that I would pay to see it in the theaters. I would probably wait for a rental or wait for it to drop on Disney Plus, quite honestly.
Yeah, I do not have the desire to go see it in a theater, but I would wait for rental. It's definitely, to me, it's a must watch.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be fun. All right, next up we have the trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't know where I land with this one, honestly, because I remember how The Mandalorian ended, season 3 or whatever it was. Is there really that much more of the story that they have to tell that they need to make a movie?
There's not enough information in this trailer to make any kind of educated guesses about any of this. It could be a safe way to get the audience involved, get their interest, intrigued, and introduce either new characters, new concept, some new, bigger, expanded universe, or something, as like a kicking stone to something, a stepping stone to something else, to kick off something else. I don't know. There's no information in this at all. I mean, we see one character, we see one well-known actor.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Sigourney in there, so, you know.
Well, and I'm assuming Pedro Pascal is back underneath everything.
I would assume he's under there. We heard a little bit of voice, but not really enough, and you can do anything with voices anyways. I'm assuming it's Pedro. But there's just no information on this to say whether I would watch it in the theaters or we need more input. Yeah. Johnny 5 here. Need more input. But I'm with you. Is there enough to expand? Like, did we not see enough with season 3 and 1 and 2? I mean, what else do we need?
I genuinely, I don't know. This is like a hard line for me for like, I'm going to see it, but I'm absolutely not paying theater prices for it.
Not with what we just saw. Absolutely not.
This would be one where I would have to wait for it to drop on some sort of streaming service that for free that I already paid for. I mean, it would be on Disney Plus, so
yeah,
duh. But
unless a new trailer drops that introduces some kind of a concept or piques interest, I agree. You cannot say that this is good for theaters. I don't know.
Yeah,
you can't judge this. You really can't. It's not fair. But whatever. It could be. Maybe you don't need more information. Maybe this just turns out to be, because we thought we had all the information. What more could you possibly want with Rogue One? We know what's happening afterwards. That's already set in stone.
Yeah.
You can't retcon any of this. They have to die. Nobody gets off the base. We know exactly where the plans get sent, who they get sent to, and who the heck is there waiting for them when we get open the blast doors, or the whatever doors you want to call them, and, our favorite character of all time is there. It was written. It was predetermined, and that was okay. It was by far the best of the standalone Star Wars movies that we've gotten. And honestly, it's probably the best post-Disney acquisition of Lucas out of all the films.
I think the biggest reason is that it's one of the only Star Wars movies that we get post-Disney that doesn't follow some sort of Skywalker family timeline. There's no Luke, there's no Han Solo. I mean, we get Darth Vader in there, obviously, but that's kind of like duh. But that's it. It's a wholly original story. Granted, yes, it has to follow that timeline. We know where it's going to end up, but it still manages to be engaging and manages to introduce new characters that you actually care about.
And they were good, and it was good comic relief, and you actually learned, you knew what was going to happen to him, but it didn't hold any punches to, like, emotional ties to these people. Like, it hurt when they all died. Because they were actually good characters, unlike a certain sequel character sequels. You can call them that. Who's like, boring. Can we move on now, please? Please? So, I mean, it could be another one of those situations. Maybe it ends up being another Rogue One. I don't know how.
Yeah. I think I'm creating a new rating for this one. I'm waiting for it to drop on streaming. I'm not paying any money for it. Any money that I haven't already, spent.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So rental or... I thought we always included streaming with rental. Kind of. I don't want to have to pay any money for it. Okay, that's fair. So you just don't want to contribute any money to this specific project at all. With your direct financial dollars. Yes, you have said subscription to Disney Plus, so you've already contributed money to it in one form.
I don't want to have to pay more money for it. I don't want to see it in the theaters. I don't want to spend the $19 or whatever it's going to be when it first drops to be a rental. I don't know. I just don't have high expectations for it.
That is valid. Because I forgot they've been doing that a lot where they'll release it on something, Amazon or whoever. They'll probably even release it on Disney Plus. If they're money hungry enough, which they'll do it.
It's going to go on there eventually.
Only.
Yeah.
And then make it free at some point. Oh, God.
Okay.
God.
Let's move on. Next trailer, we have, I believe it's a remake of Anaconda.
I don't want to wait, man.
Doug, what are you talking about?
Let's do it. Let's reboot Anaconda.
I gotta say, I was not expecting that twist for this take on the movie. That actually looks pretty good.
I feel like, unfortunately, there wasn't enough information in the Grogu Mandalorian movie. And this has got the opposite problem. I think there's too much information. I think we just saw the entire movie in the trailer. Like, okay.
Yeah, you're right. I do think they probably spoiled a little bit too much in this one.
Like, if it's a reboot of the original movie, which it's not, it's a comedy parody. But like, we know what it's going to be. You could have left the giant. It looks far more realistic than the original one did, like size and proportions wise. Like, I could believe this thing being out there versus the original movie, which was like, there ain't no way that thing's alive. It's just too huge. So, you know, the unbelievability of the size and proportions is a little bit downplayed, but you know what it's going to be. Why'd you include it? Just leave it out. Leave it a mystery. That would have cut a lot of the spoilers right there.
They should not have spoiled the twist.
Yeah, like, you know it's going to be there. Like, you didn't need to do it. And I maybe wouldn't have felt like I've seen like the entire movie in a 2-minute trailer.
Yeah. I don't know. Quite honestly, that still doesn't put me off enough not to want to see it in the theaters. I think that's what I'm going to go for. I would see this in the theaters.
For the laughs. Okay. Not a good movie is what my prediction is going to be. But for the experience of what it's supposed to be like in the theaters,
yeah,
I actually feel like this is appropriate, and therefore I agree with your assessment. Go see it in the theaters, because I feel like that's the fun in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
yeah,
but like, go for it. Like, you get the experience with it. Go for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I we'll see.
I would not have
we will see.
That.
All right, last trailer of the episode. We've got one for a movie called The Carpenter's Son.
What awaits us when we turn at last to death? Let my faith endure. Faith.
I am thoroughly confused.
I am too.
I don't understand. I thought we were going to get maybe a movie where Nicolas Cage was Jesus.
That's what I thought we were getting too.
Now I'm not sure.
I don't know what this is. I really don't.
I mean, it's an interesting trailer. It could be an interesting premise. I feel like I'm gonna have to utilize that new rating again. I'm just gonna have to wait for it to drop somewhere on streaming. I feel like if I was in the right mood, in the right context, I would want to watch this. So I don't want to count it out entirely, but it's not something that I'm going to, number one, pay money for, and number two, necessarily like seek out per se. You know?
Yeah. I would say it's definitely piqued my interest enough that I would watch it. But I wouldn't pay for it. So it's gonna have to land on streaming somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking there for a moment, we finally got a Nicolas Cage movie where he doesn't spaz out.
Yeah, okay. Doesn't look like that's the case.
Wrong again.
That is it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening /watching. Please be sure to subscribe, leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to us, just make sure to give us a nice little 5-star, 5 out of 5 rating, whatever. And we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.